from Nostalgic Books and Comics in San Diego, California. It's Dre's Geek Philosophy, Monday edition, the day after Cinco de Mayo edition, the holy shit that Spider-Man Far From Home trailer came out this morning edition. What in the fuck?
Yeah.
Holy shiitake mushrooms, a whole what?
I mean, they literally had to put a spoiler warning ahead of the trailer.
I love that at the beginning of the trailer, you have adorable Tom Holland letting you know, if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, don't watch this trailer. And honestly...
Like, the first shot is...
The first shot
right.
is a spoiler.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think after $2 billion at the box office, are there people out there that haven't? I mean,
well,
is there a high percentage of people that have not seen the movie? I have a friend who's seen it like 8 times apparently. Maybe there's a lot of those kind of people out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fart. I'm sorry, you have a thought?
Well, it's funny too because like, I think it was like last week, right? Where the Russos were saying that the embargo.
The spoil. Well, you know, they were saying the spoiler embargo is up on Monday. I'm sure. That coincides with the trailer release of Far From Home. God damn. Honestly, yeah. If you're some of the brave souls who have either you've chosen not to watch it, or if you're a poor soul who you've been so busy you cannot tear yourself away from work or family or whatnot to go watch Avengers Endgame, one of the 2 billion. Well, actually, after movie tickets, I mean, that's one thing people keep saying. Oh, it's only breaking all these records because of the movie ticket prices are so much higher now. Like, you know, there's been a lot of movies that come out, and not everybody gets a 2 B's.
Yeah, exactly.
There's that 2 in front of that B.
Yeah. It's funny.
It's in a dog walk avatar. I'm so happy.
Oh yeah, it already beat it, right? Like.
Mm-hmm. No, well, like the worldwide, it still needs another like $500 million to pass, because I think it's 2.7 million was Avatar's final take after its worldwide craziness.
Yeah,
everybody's like, "Oh, this is amazing visual spectacle with a terrible plot from Fern Gully and Pocahontas."
Yeah, that's Far From Home trailer.
Yeah, to get back to the Far From Home trailer.
It's interesting.
It's like just...
There's some stuff.
Spoilerific. And, oh, God. No, I know there was one part of that trailer which I immediately thought, oh, Pete is going to be all over this part. I guess, okay, well, let me speak in broad generalities then for, like, multiple timelines.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple dimensions?
Here's the thing.
Are we going to have a Crisis on Infinite Earths but in the wrong universe?
Well, here's the thing, because everyone's running with that. Everyone's like writing articles like oh, Spider-Man is the key to the multiverse in Marvel and blah blah blah.
Marvel multiverse. So like there's a Sony there's a Sony universe and a 616 and a X-Men, and so
I mean that's
is this the linchpin of introducing all these other characters?
They can do it because I mean, Spider-Man last year had a multiverse movie. Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. Right? So there's integrated all. Yeah. Fuck it.
It's there. But here's why I'm being skeptical.
Okay.
The person talking about the multiverse is Mysterio. The dude's whole thing is misdirection and like.
Yeah, that's also a major concern. Yes.
Yeah.
Because for the people who don't know who Mysterio is, his whole thing is to be, ooh, I'm a master of illusion.
Yeah. His whole thing is lying to you. And,
he lies.
Yeah, so
he's a master of lying. He's mysterious, but he's not mysterious about his lies.
Yeah. So,
which I don't like. That whole trailer, I was just kind of like that. I actually was very much focused on the whole like, all right, what's the Mysterio deal here? Because obviously, the for those of you who don't know, Mysterio, it's a supervillain.
Yeah, big time.
He's a supervillain. Hey, look, he's a hero from another universe.
Yeah, right. The minute he said that, I was like, oh. And I know that there's a lot of like websites taking that at face value. I'm like, it's Mysterio.
It's Mysterio.
Come on. Like,
he likes to trick people.
The dude.
A trick is what holes do. I do illusion. It's my girl.
I mean, the dude was driving Daredevil crazy, praying to be God. For God's sakes, I mean, like that's what he does.
It's what he does. It's just so I'm wondering where they're going with it. And obviously the whole thing where apparently no one who's important in that high school apparently aged forward. Just dancing the line of spoilers here. Oh God, it's so hard, especially with this coming. Why couldn't they wait another week to put out this trailer?
Yeah.
We didn't need it now.
Yeah.
But hey, But again, to what you were saying, we need to let the universe sit. No, they're not letting the universe sit. We got Happy Hogan all over the trailer.
Yeah.
We got Nick Fury. We got.
Well, they said that what's his face? Kevin Feige said this is the end of Phase 3 or whatever. Like this movie officially.
Oh, this is the official end. This is the post mortem.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense. Remember, because Ant-Man was the end of Phase 2, I think. Because it was like it was Age of Ultron, then Ant-Man. Yeah. So I guess they like to do it, which kind of makes sense because then you have that movie that kind of deals with the aftermath. So
Iron Man 3 was the end of Phase 1 then, by proxy? Because I could have sworn that Iron Man was the start of Phase 2.
No, Iron Man was the start of Phase 2, but
they decided to start doing postmortems.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about it when it breaks it down. Cause
right, I guess, but I'm telling you, we're not going to have a long... I don't think it's going to be a long of a break as you are speculating between Far From Home and our next Marvel film.
No.
I'm sure they'll have some... There will be words spoken at D23. Things will be said.
Yeah.
Announcements will be made as far as the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe when we get that. Could be the inevitable Phase 4.
Yeah.
The Secret War phase. Ooh. No. Or maybe the Secret Invasion phase. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, but I feel like that's the other thing too. Like everyone has these theories, and then they'll do one thing. They're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. When they cram Civil War into one whole movie.
Yeah.
And actually made it make sense.
Well, so I mean I don't know where they're gonna go after this.
Yeah. Multiple universes.
Yeah. It's funny.
Unless it's an illusion.
It's funny. I finally felt how long that movie is, Endgame. Uh-huh. So last night, I went to go see this other movie, which didn't turn out too great. And so as I was walking out, I know it was already kind of late. It was already around like 11 or something like that. Mm-hmm. As I'm walking out of the theater, I noticed that there's no theater employees anywhere. Mm-hmm. And Endgame was going on, so I was just like, walked right in there.
Was moseying on an Endgame?
And I got in there, and it was like right when they started the heist, right?
The heist, yes. The heist. That's as far as we'll go to avoid spoilers, even though the Russo brothers have given everyone permission to give spoilers, but the heist.
Yeah, I literally got there when that started, and I just sat there for the rest of the thing.
And so you left at 1 a.m.?
Yeah. No, I was at 2 a.m. again. 2
a.m.? Holy fuck! How bad was it? I mean, I dare say, do you not want to say what that other movie was to protect the innocents?
No, I mean I could talk about it, I guess.
Because I may have I heard honestly I had not heard of this other movie that you spoke of until yesterday. Well, not yesterday, Saturday, Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah,
I heard all about it because I was like, "What's that movie?"
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you might have shown me like a trailer.
Yeah.
A while back, but I guess I did not like that trailer so much. I just like boop boop.
Yeah.
Bye. So don't remember that trailer.
I guess we could talk about it a little. So the thing was this guy made a movie. So this director made a movie. It's a superhero. Well, I wouldn't call it superhero. It's more like a vigilante.
It's a vigilante from East LA.
From East LA.
Yo.
And
I'm so sorry. Not sorry.
It was interesting. Like it was just kind of like. It felt like
every 90s superhero movie.
A little bit, but also like it was so weird because it's very much like you can tell it was inspired by like Frank Miller era like Daredevil stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like it had that feel to it, but then
Man Without Beer.
But then you got like the music made it seem like oh, this guy's trying to make Dark Knight, like, and it just I mean.
He was trying to make Dark Knight, but it was still very much like every other 90s superhero movie.
But you know what was crazy though? Like this movie looked a lot better than it felt like it should have. Because there was parts of it where I'm like oh, this is a low budget movie, but then there's some parts where like oh wow, that looked really cool. Like.
Well, see right here, we have a great comment here from James here saying, I would just tell my friend, I wish I could just start it from the heist on. I've seen it 4 times so far.
Yeah.
After you get that one viewing, then you're like, all right, I just want to get to the meat and potatoes. I mean, there's a lot of meat and potatoes in the movie, but you just want to get, all right, let's get to here.
But yeah, so it was an interesting movie, to say the least. Wasn't what I expected. It set up some stuff where I was like, oh, this could be interesting. I'm like, oh, nope, they didn't go there. Never mind.
And then did you walk out of it? Or
no.
Well, that's how long Endgame was. You watched this other movie, walked out with a bad taste in your mouth, and you're like, oh, man, this wasn't so great. Hey, Endgame's still on.
Yeah, 'cause this one started at like 10, and the end game was 10:45.
Ah.
So when I walked out, I was like, oh, fuck it.
Well, fuck it. All right.
I'm already here.
Well, it's already midnight and I'm already here.
Yeah.
Catch the heist forward.
Yeah, that's basically what I did. And it was surprising. Well, I guess it's Sunday night, but whatever. It was pretty empty, like the end game screening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a handful of people in there.
Well, it's Sunday night.
Yeah.
You're the Yahoos who want to go out and see it late. That was last week.
Yeah.
The 1.2 billion weekend.
Yeah.
This is just the $800 million weekend. You know, most movies don't even get that in their entire thing. Endgame probably made more this past weekend than Justice League made in his entire run.
Yeah, probably.
Just to put that in perspective for you folks. That's how much DC fucked up. Endgame made more this past weekend than the entire Justice League run.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
But it's alright. See, Disney's probably feeling good because they got back all that solo money.
Yeah.
But it's all different buckets, though.
Yeah.
All the money. That's what I learned when I worked at Disney. It's all different buckets. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a bucket. Yeah. And you're hoping that Disney puts some money in your bucket. Whenever I had to order movies, I'm taking money from one bucket and giving it to another. Mm-hmm. Publicity is paying the people in Tennessee who print all the movies. Bucket to bucket, and bucket back the other way. Yeah. Man. But so Free Comic Book Day. Let's just talk about this. So let's talk about Free Comic Book Day. Obviously, Free Comic Book Day was this past Saturday. The first Saturday in May is always Free Comic Book Day, and it used to be the big comic book movie would come out this weekend, but the last 2 years that has not been the case.
Not been the case.
The worldwide release of the last two Avengers movies happened the week before. Yeah. But nevertheless, we still soldier on. Free Comic Book Day has been going on for now what?
Since the first Spider-Man movie, right?
Since the first Spider-Man movie, so that was what, 99? 2000?
2001 maybe?
2001?
Yeah.
So Free Comic Book Day, it's been a thing. It's a part of our culture now. And so how it's always, I feel like you say it's the biggest day of the year.
Yeah, it really is.
For the store.
It's like I will make as much as like a month's worth of profit that day. Like it's insane. Like
it's an amazing concept. Yeah.
So many people show up for it, and it's interesting. I mean, like the whole marketing thing. All the studios put out their free books. I feel like they've been getting lazy in the last couple of years though, because like
there's just a lot of reprints.
Not reprint, exactly. Like I feel like before it used to be like like this is coming up, or they would make original content for the Free Comic Day books, but. Yeah, now it's a lot of reprints.
Yeah, I remember some of my favorites were that Justice League America Zero, that Brad Meltzer. Just I remember that was like one of my favorite Free Comic Book Day books. I think there was didn't Blackest Night Zero start on Free Comic Book Day? I remember DC used to treat. I technically they did their Year of the Villain. Yeah. And if you watched our Wednesday night show, the Multiverse Comics show, we talked about that. But yeah, I looked at some of the stuff that was out there, and it was like, it's all like this, because Pete was here at Nostalgic Books and Comics. I, as part of the CAPE committee, the East Los Angeles Comic Book Art and Pop Culture Expo, I was at the Boyle Heights Art Conservatory, and I put out the spread of Free Comic Book Day. That we had a Free Comic Books for Free Comic Book Day. English is clearly my second language. We put that spread out. Yeah. We had an event over there because since there are partners for the for the East LA Comic Book Art and Pop Culture Expo. So I was over there handing out comics, but we clearly were not as busy because that's not a comic shop. Yeah. And we literally only it was only advertised for like the week before.
Not even the week before.
Not even the week before. Days, right? So I think we had two very different Free Comic Days. Like you had a shitload of people. Yeah. Was it like previous years that I've experienced where you literally had a line of people outside? Yeah. Right before you open the store.
Yeah. At one point, it was so funny. So me and Joanna got here about 10, just to finish up. I've been organizing.
There's a whole art gallery going on here, art show of one of the artists who was here at the store, Javier Hernandez. Yeah.
And so like I was moving, straightening things out, and making sure everything was ready to go.
Were there people here at 10 already?
Yeah.
Did you have to park behind and come into the back?
Well, it was funny because as I had brought a bunch of stuff to bring in, supplies, chairs and stuff like that, and so I had the door open while I was coming in, and this guy just walked in, lights are off, and I'm like, dude, we're not open yet. He's like, the door's open. I was like, get out.
Jackasses. I hate people like, well, your door's open, so you must be open. Yeah. The fuck is that nonsense?
And then my favorite though was because me and John were laughing about it all day. was same thing happened where the door was closed but wasn't locked, and we were like,
You're so organized. The store does not open till you open
12.
You wait till 12, not 11. Oh, okay.
Oh no, yeah.
you waited till high noon.
Mm-hmm. And so again, the lights are still off. Everything was working. And this guy walks in and he comes in and I tell him like, oh, we're not open yet. And he's like, he says, oh, just kidding. And he closes the door and he walked away.
And then was there a line already? Or?
Yeah.
And this guy just walked past. So wait. So you mean to tell me this motherfucker sees a line of people waiting for the store to open and he just rolls right up to the door. I'm more important than everybody else here. Fuck them. Opens the door and has to be told, nah, dumbass. Yeah. Fucking the privilege of some fucking people, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, but it was interesting. I mean, it got pretty bad though. Like we had a lot of people in here, and to the point where we had.
Wait, were you violating some fire codes potentially?
Potentially, like
there were no fire codes violated, but maybe you came close.
It came pretty close, yeah. But it was pretty nuts, man. It was pretty cool.
Honestly, that's because I wasn't here to police it. I would have been like, whoa. I could have been your bouncer at the front door. I could have worn my security shirt and then policed the front. Hey, hold on.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. Like I always enjoy Free Comic Day. It's always people who are like, people you don't normally see.
Or you get some lapsed people who maybe haven't bought a comic in a long time. I think the last Free Comic Day I was like physically here for a while. All right, there was like a few customers from our old comic shop back in Monterey Park. I'm like, oh hey, It's like, wait a minute, you guys only come out of the woodwork when the books are free, assholes. Yeah, cheapskates.
And that's what I was saying before. Like I thought it was very blatant this year. There's a lot of people that would just come in, get the free stuff, and just walk
and leave. Because generally, it's like it's courtesy. Okay, there's free comics, but support your local comic shop. Hey, buy a comic. Yeah. You don't take 5 for whatever the limit you set, 3 or whatever.
I don't remember.
Because you got a lot of people, so I'm sure because usually it's a limit. You can't just grab fucking wantonly, especially those independent comics. They're free for the customers, but old Pete here, and then you had to shell out a pot. You can't. It's a marketing expense basically. Free Comic Day. It's a big marketing thing that and all the shops have to pay for.
Yeah, and it gets expensive, man. Especially like certain independent books. Like I forgot what book it was. I didn't even order. I think I ordered like 2 just because I was like, I want
one for yourself.
Yeah. There was a book that was like $1. Like I was like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, for a book that you're just giving away. Yeah, I'm sure some like snooty business person's like, well, if you're not willing to spend $1 for your store, like, fuck you. Yeah. I'm paying I'm paying X amount of money for all these other fucking free. There's hundreds of these comics. Do the fucking math, asshole.
Pretty much, man.
There ain't a fucking giant freaking thing. Joanna Morales says. Pete has a new title to add onto his sash. We always joke that Pete Molini here is the mayor of comics. Ever since the first East LA comic book, the East LA Comic Con when it was originally called, now it's the East LA Cape. You were the mayor of comics. Yeah. So but now you are.
I gotta tell you the story. So,
we have a story.
Story.
Ooh, I like Pete Molini stories.
So the morning of Free Comic Day, I went to Staples in Monterey Park to print out the posters for the Cape and a couple other things, just so we had. So I'm running around, I'm trying to get out there as quick as I can, and I'm carrying all this stuff, and I walk out, as I'm walking out of the Staples, this lady, I don't know who she was, she looks at me, she goes, hey, she's like, I know you, and I was like, okay, right, and she's like looking at me, and she goes, you're that East LA comic nerd.
Pete Molini, the East LA comic nerd.
And I was like, I guess, right?
Man.
And so, like, I haven't found it yet, but I took a picture of this lady. And she posted it on her Instagram, right?
You didn't go hashtag that comic nerd?
East
LA comic, hashtag East LA comic nerd?
I've been looking for it. I have not found this photo yet, so it's out there.
You didn't tell her to tag at Nostalgia Comics?
No.
Come on, social media game here, my friend. I know we're both bad at it, but come on.
But yeah, that's what I'm known as now, apparently.
Yeah, still, before the internet, I was Comic Galaxy guy. Yeah. Because I worked at Comic Galaxy for freaking like a third of my, I guess now it would be a fourth of my life. Yeah. from like 15 to 27, so about 12 years I worked at Comic Galaxy.
Yeah.
And I was Comic Galaxy guy within the San Gabriel Valley for a very long time.
Well,
I think after shaving my head, I stopped getting Comic Galaxy guy. I think when I still deluded myself into thinking I had hair, I couldn't go anywhere. If I were to go pick up my brother from school, he's like, hey, Comic Galaxy! I get Comic Galaxy from all the children. I'm like, I've never seen these kids come to the store. How do they all know?
Yeah.
My poor brother had to endure all sorts of either threats, threats to, or people would try to blackmail him into stealing from the store.
Shit.
My poor brother had to live with the poor local infamy of being my brother. You know, he was the brother of the Comic Galaxy guy.
That's funny.
So people wanted him to steal shit for them. That's what would frequently happen. He'd tell me, "Oh, they want me to steal things. Oh, fuck them." No, see, and Joanna, she was telling you to network. It's all about networking, my friend.
Yeah, no, I gave her a flyer.
That way she can show up to the East LA Comic Book Art and Pop Culture Expo and go, hey, that comic nerd sent me.
Yeah.
That East LA Comic Book Nerd.
And I was like, yeah.
That's a YouTube channel right there.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
East LA Comic Book Nerd. I've heard dumber names.
Yeah.
There's plenty of dumber names out there.
I mean, it could catch on, you know?
East LA is a big thing.
It's a big thing, yeah.
It's a big thing, especially here in LA.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wasn't big enough to save that movie I watched, so I mean.
True. This is also true.
Yeah.
Oh, she also works at Staples. Also, she's an employee coming into work.
Yeah.
Yay! How often do you go to that Staples? I know it's like down the street from your house.
Not really. I actually go to the one right here more often.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The one closer to the store, closer to work.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
That's a very interesting. You had a very eventful free comic day. You know, jerks just taking their comics, opening doors when not supposed to, walking in.
Yes.
But overall, it's the best worst day of the year.
Yeah, it was fun, and then because me and John were dead, man. It was like 7:00, and we're just like, I'm going home. I'm just gonna go home and just
go home. There's no post free comic day dinner. Like dinner, we're gonna pass out.
Yeah, I was exhausted. Like my legs and back were killing me.
I know you're probably not used to having to be social for 8 hours. Because I'm assuming, because there's lull, and obviously you're like super busy at the beginning, and then there's a lull, and there's a second wave of people probably got out of movies or something.
It just keeps going, man. Like it's just it's funny because I think it was like 2 years ago.
It was an unending.
It was so bad, and then I remember and then it died down, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit down for a second. I sat on the couch, and I was like, all knocked out, and I heard Tom Cruise. I'm like, all right, what time is it? Like 4:00. And he's like, it's 1:30.
It's 1:30.
And I was like, son of a bitch.
No, my friend.
Yeah.
It's a good and busy day, but
yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's gonna take it out of you.
Yeah.
I worked my fair share. I used to. I think after I had left Galaxy, and then when before you had a store, it was like I would go out to other free comic book days. A friend of mine, Jonah, would take me. We'd go get sketches because there'd be artists. Traditionally most stores have like an artist there doing sketches and whatnot. I remember going to our buddy Paul Grimshaw's store out in Burbank, the House of Secrets, and it was always a giant big to do. There'd be food trucks and whatever. I think this year he was like he didn't do shit for it. He's like, nope. Well, I think he's checked. I think like most other people, everyone's kind of just checked out because it's just like you put all this investment into the day and it doesn't affect the bottom line at the end.
Well, I mean, I think that's the thing too. Like I know a lot of stores have these huge events. And I think that's another issue of it, where like I think in my head I'm always thinking like, oh, I'm gonna do this big thing, but then it's always like you're competing with everybody in LA, and it gets to the point where like they're gonna come anyways. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's
the unfortunate truth of it. Yeah, they're gonna show up. The local people, they're not gonna drive to Pasadena. They're not gonna drive to freaking Hollywood to the fancy stores that are still around. They're gonna be like, oh, what is the line of least resistance?
Yeah.
Oh, if they live right here in San Gabriel, they're going to come here. Or if they live in the surrounding area here, they're going to come here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's what you kind of have that mentality too, where it's like I could do all this, but I don't have to.
Like, you don't have to hire people to stand outside with signs. No, people will know. You've been here long enough. I mean, you've been managing this place yourself for long enough that you have established that people know, hey.
Yeah, because is it next February? It's the 10-year anniversary of the store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. And then you've been the owner now for how many?
About 8.
8 of it?
Yeah, dude.
Fuck, it's been 8 years?
Yeah.
Fucking A, time flies.
Yeah.
I remember when you finally, you took out, taking it over.
Yeah.
The guy who's not very good at running it
Yeah.
is no longer running it. And you're taking over. You become the owner and sole. I used to always say that, owner and sole proprietor.
Yeah.
People leaning.
Yep. But yeah, so it's been there a while. I don't know where all the time went, but you know.
Well, you know, when you're going week to week,
yeah.
On this comic, like, Rosso was asking me yesterday. It's like, oh, how come you never opened up a comic shop? I'm like, it's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Look at this beard. Look at his beard right there. Used to be all black.
Yeah.
Now he has this nice little skunk tail right there going.
That's cool. I don't mind it.
The stress. I'll explaining some of the challenges of being a comic shop owner. Like it's basically like riverboat gambling. It's like, what will people want 3 months from now? I don't know, but I have to order it. I have to finish the order tonight, or else I'm not gonna have any comics.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
That's basically the breakdown of like the most annoying thing about being a comic shop owner. But you are guessing.
But you know what it comes down to? Like I think, that when you break it down, that's how it works. But
you kind of learn the pattern of your people.
And
but you have to survive long enough to learn the pattern of your rubes. I mean your customers.
But not only that, like I feel like it's so crazy that like you learn the pattern and you just kind of like it just becomes like second nature.
Oh yeah,
it's like fucking Beautiful Mind and shit. Like
you're like doing all the math. I'm like, all right, I know I saw 10 copies of Uncanny X-Men. I know I sent 15 copies of Batman because I know all these assholes around. You're like, oh no. But me, it was like I think the one time I ever made an order back at the old Comic Galaxy, I like when there was a brand new book and you don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, it's
like that's like it's a number one. Like, oh, what the fuck? I'm like, will people want this stupid book? I don't even know if there's an audience for this fucking book. You under order and then everybody fucking wants it. You over order and you have a pile of useless paper that you cannot sell.
And the worst part of that whole thing is that every month, I'm not even exaggerating.
There's a number one every month.
Marvel. Every month there's a new number one.
New number one.
And it's worse.
Fuck you.
And there's worse when there's an event going on because then there's like a dozen new number ones. Like, you know, like.
And it's stressful because like you obviously want to order enough to satisfy demand because you don't want to be turning people away and then creating a perception. Oh, that store never has book. Yeah, that's another freaking one of the little tightrope you have to walk running in one of these places. Like, okay, you don't want to build a reputation of people. Oh, that place never has books.
Yeah.
But then you also don't want to have a shitload of books.
Yeah.
That like what's the joke we would make? Oh, a week later, it's like it's week old bread.
Yeah.
People don't want last week's books.
Yeah, no.
They want this week's books. But that book came out last week. I don't give a shit about last week. But what's this week's books?
Yeah. It's just I don't know. I think
there is a chemistry and a science to it. Like you said, you have to beautiful mind it.
But I think that's what it comes down to. Like, cause I remember early on, I'd be real stressed out over that stuff. But I think at one point you just kind of just don't have to give a fuck and just kind of like it's gonna work out and just
it's gonna work out some way.
You just kind of have the experience of like like I think this is probably gonna sell. This is probably not gonna sell. I mean, you're gonna make mistakes. It always happens, but I think it gets to a point where you just don't worry about it, and it just kind of figures out on its own.
I got scarred because I made a rather dumb fuck up on my order, and the second order he never allowed me to touch the order book ever again.
Oh shit! Really?
I mean, like realistically, he only took a bath for like $50, but.
Oh no, Juan.
Yeah.
No, see, I used to hate that shit because. He would tell me, he's like, well, you're here every week, every day. Like, you should do the order for the store. And I'd be like, all right. So I've been doing the order. I'm like, and I knew what we had. And
then he'd change all the numbers.
And I'd be like, oh, I think we only need like 35 of these or whatever, right? And he would add 50. I'm like, why are you doing it? He's like, oh, it's better to have more than not have enough. And I was like, all right.
I make a couple mistakes. And I'm never allowed to touch the order book ever again.
Yeah.
Because like he had the same theory with me. Like at that point when I was working full time at the store and I was giving a shit, I was like, oh yeah, no, you're gonna order all those. You make the order this month. And I'm like, all right. I remember, and then he literally only gave me the order. We had sold out of the big catalog that showed you everything, and I was like just going off of what it said just in the order book. And that's so I got scarred. I'm like Marvel had done these stupid these books where you're supposed to battle against each other. I should have only ordered one, but I ordered like 5 of each. Because I thought it was gonna just be a book that like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna be a stupid game. I thought it was just literal battles. Like, oh, battles, oh, cool. Hell yeah, people want to see Thor versus Hulk, but the book was literally one side was Thor, the other side was Hulk. It was just a bunch of stupid. It's a stupid ass game, and you fucking lorded that shit over my head for a long time.
I bet.
It's like, you're gonna have to buy them all. I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm like, how about you make the orders and I just sell them?
Yeah, exactly. But no, that's what I'm talking about. Like it's it's stressful, but also like it's not. It could be worse, you know.
It could be worse.
I could be digging fucking holes for a living.
Digging holes. You could be sitting in an office. And,
yeah, exactly. So
because you've done the office job, you've done the teaching kids math job.
Yeah. So I've had worse jobs. I mean,
you've had worse jobs. Yeah. Being a comic shop owner is not a bad job.
No.
Yeah, let's say join somewhere else. A fact that you mentioned it, and not to mention all the shitload of tie-ins. When there's tie-ins, and you have to factor that in when you're ordering the comics.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. It's tricky.
It's a wicked web to run a comic shop.
I know a lot of people that make orders for comic book stores, and they make another mistake that they make is that they order high on what they like. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't work. That won't work for me because I like some weird shit, and like people around here don't like that kind of stuff.
No. Like the original owner, Comic Galaxy Barry, he would order like an extra 30 or 50 copies of fucking X-Men. Oh. Because he fucking loved X-Men. Yeah. Like he was putting together this whole set. Like he was like, oh, he's gonna have like 50 sets of Uncanny X-Men.
That's insane, man.
He was. Yeah, he was a little nutty though. The first owner, he allowed a 15-year-old to run the store. That shows you how crazy he was. Right? Yeah, old young goofball me was running that place. Like he was like, oh, he's gonna go off and go nail his hot girlfriend. Yeah, you gonna leave me with the store here, dumbass.
Have fun.
I'm like, ooh, this is pre-internet, so it was just me reading comics.
Yeah.
All day, like just going through the bin. The original bin that was in the store. Like, oh, it's a little shitty bin. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna read everything.
That's funny.
Because there's no television, there's no internet, there's no nothing in the original. I like to call it the Golden Age Comic Galaxy. Did you ever get to see Golden Age Comic Galaxy?
Yeah, I walked in there a couple times. Yeah, it was across the street, right?
It was across the street. Yeah, it was in between the Taco Village and the there's a dry cleaner.
Yeah. Yeah, I walked in there a couple times.
Now it's just a freaking Italian restaurant. Yeah. The whole thing is just an Italian restaurant now.
Yeah, I remember there being a bunch of boxes and having to ask for stuff and you had to pull it out and it was like a whole thing.
Yeah, it was a thing. It was boxes everywhere. We were that Image store. Oh shit! The Bushy Browley has joined us here over on Twitch. What's up, Bushy? Yeah, I remember it was that store was just pure chaos, and we were like that Image store. Like, Image was prominently displayed everywhere, and then Marvel and DC had only one shelf.
Oh wow!
That they had to share.
Well, that was.
Well, no, it was Marvel had one shelf, and DC was either in the singles, like any of the books that we'd only order one of.
Yeah.
Like there was a short box, so it was like. Again, Green Lantern, Justice League, like stuff that ended up selling later. Like it was this was pre Nightfall, pre freaking Emerald, whatever, freaking Emerald Fallout or whatever. All that before all the shit happened, it would just be a box with just like you're looking for freaking DC Showcase. Yeah, we have one copy in that box. There's a short box on the counter. That's where most of DC was.
Yeah, I remember. I think I bought a lot of that stuff. And
it probably was you.
Because I remember. I was a big Superman. That was my first book I followed, and he essentially had a weekly book.
Every week there was 4 different books. There'd be one a week.
And I remember I would go in there, and sometimes it'd be sold out. Like sometimes you guys wouldn't have it, and I'd have to go.
Because that was kind of post death. The store opened around the time of the death of Superman. Yeah. So I didn't start working there until like the Rebirth. I think when the white cover book came out. Well, still, he would only order like Sophie, especially after he got burnt. Well, everyone got burned on that white cover.
Yeah. Well, because they thought it was like.
Everyone thought it was gonna be just like the Death of Superman, so everyone ordered like 500 copies. Supply and demand, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That book's not even worth a quarter now, right?
I mean, I haven't seen one in a long time, man. Like I used to see them all the time.
I think I still have a sealed one somewhere. I think me, like other fools back then, bought. Oh, I'm gonna buy 2. Yeah. One to read and one to keep sealed.
Yeah.
Oh, what young dumbasses we were.
Yeah, it's scary though, because I think it's like nowadays, like that mentality is back.
Oh, where people are like comic speculating again?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I freaking hate it, man. Like, it's just, and it like, they always talk about how, like, oh, you know, because eBay's so great. Like, eBay started this shit all over again. Like, you know, like, it's just, because it's such a, that's the stressful part of ordering comics. Because variant covers.
Oh, that's right. That
shit's back, right? And so, like, people, and there's no way of figuring that out, because the thing is, you could get, I'll only get variant covers that I qualify for. Whatever I'm ordering, if I qualify for them, cool.
That's something a lot of people don't understand. It's like the variants don't just show up to every store. You have to order, and then, like, I think Marvel is really bad about it. You have to order something that you don't want to qualify for a variant cover. Yeah. So you have to order, like, 40 copies of book that is not going to sell. Yeah. or what was the shitty thing? I remember you sat down and explained it to me. So, like, you have to do 50% more than what you did the last time.
Yeah, no, so
or has that changed? I know they continually change the formula to fuck with comic shop owners.
Well, the way it used to work was that they would give you, like, a percentage compared to another book. So it's not even like, so, like, if you wanted an X-Men variant or whatever, it wasn't even a fucking X-Men book. It'd be like some random book. And before, it wasn't too bad, because sometimes they'd get lucky. Because sometimes it'd be compared to, like, a shitty book, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to order like 5, and you have to order like 50%. Oh, so I have to order 2.5 more, right?
Right. So now I got to order 8. Yeah. And, oh, cool! I get this variant that I can sell to make up the difference of this paper that's going to sit on my shelf forever.
And so, like, you know, at first it was all right. It was working out okay, and then out of freaking nowhere, it was like, you have to order 100% compared to this book. Recently, they've done up to 200%. Compared to some random ass book.
What the fuck?
And
so that'd be some book like you order 10 of them. You gotta order another 20 on top of that. Yeah. You have to order 30 copies. Yeah.
And then
of mediocre book.
And you know what sucks is that it took me a while to figure out the scheme of this whole thing.
Because you need to order more. Because then the next time we come back around, you got to do 200% of 30.
Yeah.
These dirty. Yeah. See, it kind of occurred to me when you first told me that. Yeah. Of course, they're gonna fucking fuck with the numbers.
Yeah. And so, but the biggest problem with variant covers is that, see, back in the day, people were treating it like the 90s, because you get a variant cover, you might be able to flip that somehow, right? Mm-hmm. Nowadays, but there was no eBay back then.
There's no easy way to flip it.
So nowadays, everyone's trying to flip shit, and so, like, it's not even worth getting variant covers, the order variant covers, because at the time, you'll go and you'll get very cover, like, all right, how much is this going for? You go on, it's going for, like, cover price.
Because there's so many of them that are on there. Yeah. Oh, like, they're not rare. Yeah. They're not scarce. Mm-hmm. Because some people would buy them and keep them. But now, everyone who buys them is buying them with the intent of just turning around and selling them.
Yeah. And it's just a scary, I don't know, man.
It trips me out that there's people out there that they somehow eke out a living doing this.
I guess. I mean, I don't know how, but
it's like all these schemers. Because I know, like, we notoriously had a schemer back at the old Comic Galaxy days, where there was a guy who was like, he was constantly just scheming because he was always broke. Yeah. And then there was another guy that worked for Juan that was another fucking notorious schemer. Yeah. He was like, I remember one of his schemes was like he'd go somewhere that was doing like buy 2 games to get one free. Oh, yeah. He'd go to like Target, buy 2 get one free, and he'd turn around and he'd go to like Best Buy and try to do a return without a receipt, return all 3 of them for full price. Like, you buy them from Target, go return them at Best Buy. Of course, everyone eventually got smart to that. Yeah. I was like, people do this to freaking get by. I was like, that was before the gig economy. This is how people hustled. Yeah.
Pretty much, and it's like they're trying to do it again, and it's
like, coming back, because I remember, like, because Pete on his. Do you post the stories on Twitter, or is it just on Facebook when you post all these? Like on his Facebook, he posts all these stories of the weird shit that happens, and you would think it's fiction, but no. Real life is stranger than fiction. Yeah. You cannot write some of the stupid shit that people do. Like, people coming in, I think common when people come in with their cell phones and just like fucking like looking through comics and just looking at their cell phone at the same time because they're trying to see, which of these books can I buy here? Yeah. Off of the other thing, I'm gonna rip off this dummy here. Yeah. I'm gonna buy this book for undercover price. Go turn around and sell it. Ha.
And the thing that drives me crazy is people that they go through stuff. And then they'll grab like 8 copies of something, and then like, because they know what they're trying to flip it or whatever, right? And then they bring like they'll come up with like 8 copies of it, and they'll be like, "Hey, so I'm getting a lot of them. Can you cut me a deal?" Mm-hmm. And it's like, what fuck you. You're buying 8 copies for a reason. Like,
yeah, I know why you're buying those 8 copies, and guess what? I'm only going to sell you 1.
Yeah.
Get out. Go take your tomfoolery to another place.
Right. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it, man. And there's this whole generation of people that are like, this whole generation of comic collectors, but that's all they do is they're searching for.
They're comic flippers.
Yeah.
It's like a small scale flip this house. It's like oh, flip this comic. I'm shocked that's not some sort of shitty show somewhere on a freaking network. Oh, flip this comic. Oh, we're gonna go to this comic shop and see what we can flip here. Let's go through their dollar bins and see. Oh, look, we can flip this for $5. Yeah, we just made 400% profit. We're smart here. Flip this comic. See, I just put it out in the universe. It's gonna be on fucking VH1 or fucking MTV2. Flip this comic.
Like, I remember when I had a broken arm. I was watching a lot of just bad daytime TV. Mm-hmm. I remember one day
you were stuck at home.
I was stuck at home, and I remember calling my friend Miguel and telling him, was like, for whatever reason, we found out we were both really into American pickers. Right? Like I was just fascinated by this show. Right?
What is that?
You don't know you don't know? Oh, dude. So it's these two guys from Iowa. And they basically go from state to state. And they're going through people's garages and like barns and crap, and they're just finding all this stuff, and it's like
American pickers. I thought you were gonna tell me it was gonna be a couple of immigrants picking
no.
strawberries or picking oranges. I was like, what? No. I got very uncomfortable for a second. I was like, what?
And it's just like they flip all this stuff that they find in antiques and whatnot.
It's like what spawned from the Antique Roadshow.
Yeah, essentially. And so I remember we found out we both really like this show. And so I remember we joked around saying like, oh, we should pitch a show where we drive around to comic shops and try to people's garages and try to find rare comic books.
I think that was called Storage Wars. I think that was one of the few reality shows I indulged in because they'd always find comics and nerd shit, so I'd watch that shit. And I guess one of the guys he made a fucking fortune because he found someone had a fucking Silver Age collection of comics. They were like all fucking a bunch of like good shit. Yeah. And he made a shitload of money off that, and he's been coasting off that ever since. That's like some poor guy had all his comics in the storage unit, and there was like pretty valuable stuff, and it was like just around after the movies after the movies artificially raised the prices of every Avengers and every Spider-Man and every
I remember for the longest time I had the earliest comic book I had was a Amazing Spider-Man. It was the first version of the Rhino. Huh. For the longest time that was like $100 book. Like it was that was really crazy too because it was an early Amazing Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And then once that crappy ending, the
shitty Andrew Garfield one,
came out, that thing shot up to like $600.
Demand. All of a sudden, oh hey, it has a character in it.
Yeah. I'm
sure the first appearance of Spider-Ham right now is probably quadrupled in value. Yeah. It went from 25 cents to $1.
You never know, man. Would you see that article about how how the movie industry isn't helping the comic industry?
Oh, I haven't seen it, but I've known this for a fact since the first X-Men movie. I've known it has not helped.
Yeah, but it has affected it. I mean,
it's affected it. You have people, but as far as I remember after that X-Men movie, we didn't sell we sold the exact same amount of X-Men comics we sold before and after. Yeah. There was no even though I know when Marvel, when those books came out, from the major motion picture, they started putting that in the fucking corner, major motion picture now, but it didn't help.
I think the movies actually affect more of the independent stuff because I've been telling people Umbrella Academy's been cool for years, and now I can't.
Oh, now it's it's on Netflix, and now all of a sudden you're selling the trades like there's no tomorrow, right?
Pretty much.
But any of the mainstream stuff, it doesn't really get a.
Well, because I think what it is,
your day-to-day stuff.
Because I think what it is too is that I think the comic industry itself, the main Marvel and DC, they don't cater to it though. I mean, that's the problem. Is that you make this movie, and people are like, oh, that's cool. We'll read the comic. This is nothing like the movie.
I think the closest was when the first Avengers came out. Yeah. And then they had that Avengers Assemble book where they basically put together the movie team, and they made Hawkeye and Black Widow look like their movie counterparts. Yeah. And they kind of put the Avengers team there. It's like, oh, this is a special Avengers team, Avengers Assemble. And they kept that together for like 5 issues. And then they're like, fuck it. Like, Bendis left it, and then Kelly Sue DeConnick took over.
Yeah, and then it was... Yeah, it was
and they kind of just... It was just random Avengers stories. It was like, oh, it went away from being like, oh... If they had taken it serious and just kept it as, the adventures of the movie Avengers in this book as a separate continuity, or not even, it didn't even need to be continuity. It's just, okay, this is its story. This is what it does. This is to keep people, like those Injustice comic books that came out for DC. Oh, that was like, this book caters to those people who want that weird Injustice universe where Superman has gone mad. Yeah. If they had just kept, I felt like that probably could have been a successful book, even if it wasn't Bendis writing it. It could have been anyone else. Just as long as you keep that kind of like
I feel like even if you would have like just made it a separate thing and then made it more like towards an all ages crowd, I think that would have done well, because I think it gets more of the
you know well enough all ages books never sell.
Well, yeah, but I see. I think that's the whole thing where, like, I think especially for kids, they go see an Avengers movie and they're like, I want to read this comic.
Yeah, but you go to the rack, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, and I think that's a big problem. I mean, like, last year, I sold so many copies of Infinity Gauntlet because people thought, like, oh, this is going to tell me what's going to happen. I'm like...
It's going to tell you absolutely nothing. You're like, why did the snap happen in the freaking first issue? What the fuck? Who's Mistress Death? Yeah. Who's Star Fox? Who's Adam Warlock? What's a Pip the Troll? That doesn't look like Drax. Drax looks silly. Why is Gamora showing so much cleavage? Why does Nebula look so weird? Why does Nebula have hair? Yeah. Who's Silver Surfer? I'm like, there's a list of things I can tell you that's different.
Yeah. But I think that's like that. I think that's a big thing, man. I think they
I guess it helps trades.
But even
movies
then,
help trades, I guess.
But even then,
it's not a huge, It's not helping. It's hurt. Like I said, the argument is, I feel like it's hurting.
Well, they're saying it's not helping at all because they're not interacting with it. They're not like pushing it. Like and it makes sense.
Would you say there's no continuity?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly. There's that. I mean, because I don't know. I think Marvel. Left a lot on the table when like there are these gaps within the movies, and we're just kind of told like, oh, that's what I was doing this time, right? They could have made these old comics that were in between.
But they make those shitty ones.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like, but if you make good ones...
If they put effort and put good creators and good artists on, like, filling in the gap between...
It would have been interesting.
Freaking Avenger, freaking Captain America Civil War and freaking Spider-Man Homecoming. You could have put in a lot of the, goofy adventures. They could draw out some stories between the two, between the year or so between those movies.
I mean, because... Just off the top of my head, like the whole, what the hell was Cap, Falcon, and Black Widow doing after Civil War? Like they were out doing stuff, like they were out,
or even between Age of Ultron and Civil War, there's that whole Avengers team going out and avenging. Yeah, you could add a whole freaking narrative of like, this is them gaining, becoming trust in each other. You could show freaking Scarlet Witch and Vision falling in love. Yeah. Which they kind of like haphazardly fast forwarded through across 3 films. Yeah,
I mean, there's like those years where Thor was out traveling in space looking for the Infinity Stones, or whatever. Yeah, like there's all sorts of stuff.
There's opportunities, but I guess it's just.
I think that always bothered me, even as a kid, when they would do like the movie tie and stuff, and it was just shitty. Like it was just like random ass people working on them, and they didn't really care about it, man. Like,
I remember when they would do the really terrible movie adaptations. Yeah. I had the movie adaptation of Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Nice. Boy, that comic sucked as bad, or if not worse, than the movie. Because the artist did not do a good job of making, like Christopher Reeve or Gene Hackman or even Ducky from fucking those John Hughes movies.
Yeah, I found it recently too. It was I had the adaptation of Batman Forever.
Mm-hmm. Oh God!
And dude, Howard Chaykin drew that.
Really?
Yeah.
That must have looked weird as fuck.
Like it was cool, but then I remember like flipping through it, and I'm like, wait, that didn't happen in the movie. And then you see on the cover it says based on the screenplay. Oh, I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
The stuff that got cut out of the film. Oh man, and I think the one that always like made me laugh was when the Star Wars prequels came out. Dark Horse did a straight up fucking adaptation of the film. They did it across 4 issues.
Yeah.
But the books came out before the fucking movie.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
That's right. I remember that.
And of course, what young jackass read them all? I was ready to tell everybody Darth Maul dies, motherfuckers. But I guess we learned that wasn't the truth. We thought Darth Maul died, but then Clone Wars taught us, if you have enough hate in your heart,
it'll keep you going.
You can live. You can live off rats.
Yeah.
You can subsist until you can gather your rage and get your revenge, and then eventually get killed by Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Again. In the most anticlimactic fucking Clone Wars fight in history of fucking man.
Yeah.
But that's just my issue. Yeah. There used to be all these like movie adaptations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they do it anymore. And they do it, they do it kind of half-assedly, like, I don't know.
Like, I don't even think, these adaptations, it's bad. And simply because you asked to talk about it, we're talking about adapting things to different mediums.
Okay, here we go.
So last week we talked about good old Sonic.
Yeah.
Good old Sonic the Hedgehog. That trailer dropped last week, and oh boy, it did not look good.
People went crazy.
People on the internet lost their goddamn minds, which it's weird to me because they had shown this terrible image of Sonic.
Yeah.
And then the corresponding everyone photoshopping what Tails is going to look like, and then that nightmare fuel that came out of it. Yeah. Tails the Fox. And so we finally got to see the hedgehog in motion.
Yeah.
With human legs. Tiny human mouth and regular-sized two separated regular-sized eyes. Yeah. And just looking weird. Yeah. All set to Gangster's Paradise.
That was really odd. That was an odd choice.
They made a lot of choices.
Yeah.
I dare to say this was all just like executives who probably have never played a Sonic game in their lives. They never watched a Sonic cartoon. Mm-hmm. They've never read a Sonic comic book from Archie. Yeah. It was Archie. Oh, it's IDW now. It has Sonic now. But man! But apparently, the bitching and moaning was so strong that the director of the movie, he tweeted out immediately. Like I guess within a day or so, he's like, "Oh no, we understand. We've heard. There will be changes. Hashtag gotta fix fast."
Yeah.
Which. You have some thoughts and feelings.
Well, okay, I have a couple of so my big concern about this whole thing is I feel like it sets a bad precedent.
Right.
It sets a bad precedent. If you bitch and whine enough, they will change it. Like I hate people that start
petitions
online for shit
that annoys me when people change.org is supposed to be like when good old Barack Obama set up change.org, it was supposed to be like, oh, we should fix Flint's water problem.
Not take the feminism out of Star Wars.
It's like it has been misused.
Yeah. So that's my big thing is I feel like it's
like you're afraid that because the bitching and moaning succeeded this time that
people are going to use it constantly.
Well, I say to thee, my friend, people are always going to bitch and moan. No. And I speculate that. I think because usually a lot of these, because Sonic the Hedgehog, that's from Sega in Japan. Usually, these Japanese companies are usually very protective of their things. Unfortunately, Hollywood doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
I give to you Exhibit A, Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
and then I also give to you Exhibit B, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah, that's right.
See, these Hollywood screenwriters. All they care about is, okay, let's just get on the fucking screen. We don't care. Like, this sounds... Or they've never watched an episode of Dragon Ball. They've never seen Super Mario Bros. That sounds stupid. I'm going to do my own thing. Because I'm a creative auteur.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big possibility. Because it's happened in the past.
It has happened in the past. So, I think where... I'm sure there was a lot of complaints from the Sega side saying, hey, that's not Sonic.
Yeah.
I'm sure internally they heard a lot of that, and they're like, "Oh, well, of course." Internally, they're like, "Fuck you! We're making the movie.
Yeah.
You signed away the rights. Ha 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 ha."
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, freaking Super Mario Brothers, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that those things are in the back of their head when they realize they put out this trailer, and just honestly, it's like universal. I dare say like 95% of people who are reacting to this did not like it. There was a percentage of people who did. I have certain people on my friend list who like leave Sonic alone. Like this is fine. There's some people who support it, but
see,
I know, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. We don't want to leave it up to the fans. It should never be left up to the fans.
Because we always talk about how, like you say, like you don't own that property. That is not your property.
It's not our property.
Yeah. But here's my.
But the problem is Hollywood is just taking this property, which it's built in.
Yeah.
This should not this should be a slam dunk. I mean, obviously, the control freaks at Nintendo. There's 2 video game movies coming out. Everyone is clearly fucking excited for Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
That movie looks like, Nintendo was like, you better do this the way we fucking want to do it, or else you can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
And Hollywood's like, okay. Like, whatever contracts were, like, signed between both sides, because, like, obviously, they have a long memory over there. The good old Nintendo of America, and then, technically, it's also a separate Pokemon company. That's another thing. Yeah. That separate Pokemon company that's, like, funded by Nintendo, but it's really fucking complicated. This was explained to me weirdly many times back when I worked at Nintendo. It's like whenever we had Pokemon like demo cartridges, that shit was fucking like, we better get all of these back. This is not a Nintendo thing; it's a Pokemon company thing. It's a separate, but in control thing. It's a weird partnership.
Yeah,
I'm sure that Pokemon company side was like, everything has to go through them.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm sure, like, they negotiated, they have final cut. Clearly, whoever is making the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, the producer and movie side, they have fucking final cut. They're like, fuck you to Sonic Team and Sega and whatever. But I think they see those who do not remember history are doomed to repeat it. True. So I think in this instance, I think they're like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't fuck this up. Now, the shitty part, where I agree with you, this is shitty, is like now all these poor fucking animators and renderers have to go back and change it, and now they're gonna be fucking overworked because they're not gonna push back the movie. Oh no! Like in an ideal world, they would push that movie back to 2020 or wherever the fuck, because it was supposed to come out this year.
It's coming out in November.
So they would push that back to next summer. Yeah. In an ideal world, they would push it back. That way, these poor people don't have to work 12, 16-hour shifts, re-rendering Sonic into what people would find more appeasing visually, not super muscular legs and human mouth. Oh, I mean, come on! No, come on! I love Sonic. I played all Sonic. I was a young man when Sega Genesis was around, so I have an affinity to Sonic. Yeah. Me and my little brother, when we were tiny, we would run around the house. I would be Sonic. He would be Tails. He would follow me, and we'd run. When we were young and little, when I had hair, and I was significantly shorter.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I don't know. I think to me, though, I feel like the people that complain are not the demographic for this movie.
And that's I have to correct you.
No. You said that the kids are into this movie
because you had made the old man statement of like, oh, no one under 15 knows who Sonic is, and I was like, oh no, I got set straight. They're like, oh. There's been multiple cartoons. Yeah. There's fucking and I remember I looked at some of the games, and there's several games that were based on the cartoon where apparently Knuckles takes steroids and then got like 8 feet tall. Like there's this giant Knuckles and tiny Sonic, and there's a female Sonic, and there's a cat, and all this thingamabob. And then my boss goes, oh yeah, every fucking kid knows who fucking Sonic is.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. Like once you put that out there. This is clearly a kids movie.
Yeah, it is. Oh, of course.
It's clearly a kids movie.
Which is much more... Well, again, circles back. Then why the fuck were they using Gangsta's Paradise? A song that came out well before the demographic was born! See, I think they're trying to appeal to both sides, but I think they fucked up. Yeah. Because I think, to your point, I think they underestimated how much older people have a fondness of Sonic the Hedgehog. Hey, Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Yeah. Blast processing, yo. The Genesis had a blast processing chip. Made it better than Nintendo. Yeah, I think they underestimated people, People still like Sonic games still sell. Yeah. Sonic cartoons still keep going. We have Sonic comedy. Sonic is still like, he's not Mario. Yeah. But he's there. Yeah. As a, kind of a video game pop culture icon. Yeah. He ain't no Super Mario, but I'd put him above, Link from Legend of Zelda. Because people still call Link Zelda all the fucking time.
All the time, that's true.
His name's not Zelda. He's Link. I think Sonic is, he's not the all-encompassing brand, which is Mario, where fucking Mario was a part of the fucking transitional ceremony from from one Olympics to the other.
Yeah. But now here's a crazy thing. I've been thinking.
All right, so crazy thing.
They're saying that it's going to still come out in November.
Yeah.
Okay? So
I feel like I said that's the bad part. Like a lot of my techie friends are like, this sucks for everyone who works in that movie because they're going to probably be worked to death.
Now, but here's the thing, though. Mm-hmm. I have this conspiracy theory here. I think it's all bullshit. I think it's all
this Sonic is bullshit.
Yeah, I think
they've done the movie correctly.
No, I think we're still working on it, obviously. But I think this design is all bullshit because everyone's fucking talking about the stupid Sonic movie. And I think that was always the plan. Like, people were going to hate it, and then they would be like, oh, we're going to fix it, guys, because we love you guys. And
which, secretly, they've been fixing it since the first reveal.
Yeah.
They made this shitty trailer with shitty Sonic looking shitty.
Because, literally...
With his tiny shoes and his big legs.
So I think it is. I think they're getting more out of this than any advertising they could have done.
What's the catchphrase?
There's no good.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, that's true. Like I told
people still kept talking about it.
I mean,
we're talking about it right here.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think it was all bullshit. I think it was all a scheme to get people all riled up and then and get that publicity. And it worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
It clearly worked. Everyone's talking about it. And one last side note that I wanted to mention, because last night Game of Thrones it's going through its death its death thralls or death freaking twitches now. So I'm not even gonna talk about the episode. I'm sure you saw this all over the internet.
The Starbucks cup.
The fucking what the fuck? How? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And you know what the sad thing is? Apparently, this is not the first time this has happened.
Oh, really?
Apparently, there's another scene in a previous season where a character's holding a fucking coffee cup. It was like a different coffee cup from a different brand.
Yeah.
Like, how? I mean, either you're lazy or you're stupid.
Yeah, right.
Or 3, conspiracy theory, paid fucking advertising.
Yeah.
Putting a Starbucks cup. I can't imagine this getting by editing.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been working on these things have each been fucking movie. Every episode has been literally a fucking movie. Every episode's been an hour and 20 minutes. It's a fucking movie. How can an editor not see a fucking modern Starbucks cup in this fucking medieval fantasy fucking world? I will accept flying dragons that cut through the sky and shoot fire out.
Yeah. I
accept a boy who can see forward and past in the future. Who's like, he dropped a great line because he can see everything. He's like, I've just been living in the past. And it's like, oh, this fucking nonsense. But you leave a fucking Starbucks cup as fucking brightest day in front of one of the most important fucking characters during a fucking funny ass scene. It's like, ta-da! Don't know whose cup it was.
Pretty funny, man.
And second of all, where the fuck are they getting Starbucks in fucking Ireland or fucking where the fuck they're shooting these fucking scenes? Maybe that was on a fucking soundstage in fucking who knows where out here in fucking LA. And that's why they fucking had all the fucking Starbucks for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I saw that.
They traditionally shoot this shit on location in fucking Ireland or fucking in the desert when they need the desert. They're in fucking Morocco shooting this fucking show, but. I was like, I honestly thought it was like a fucking gag or a hoax at first, but like, no, they had to come out. I was like, oops. Yeah. Our bad.
Yeah.
Like, not the first time. Not the first time. Motherfucker's holding the Tim Hortons fucking cup. What the fuck?
That's pretty bad.
Starbucks cup.
Yeah. Why? I saw that. It was all over the internet today.
I don't know. I don't know about this stuff. Yeah. But you know what I do know, Pete Mulaney?
What's that?
You can always follow us on social media. You can follow me at DreGP Podcast on the Twitter. And also, if you're listening to this, that at DreGP Podcast will also work if you want to find us on Facebook. You want to find us on Twitch If you want to find the podcast itself, it is available on Apple Podcasts. It's available on Stitcher. It's available on SoundCloud. I will be posting it to SoundCloud as soon as we hit the end buttons on all these things. It'll be going up on SoundCloud. It'll be on your podcast devices, Apple or otherwise, tomorrow morning. If you want to check us out some more, please, if you like what you've watched, like us on Facebook. Give us a follow or sub or whatever, however it works on on Twitch. I should learn more. I know I'm the worst. Give us a follow on Twitch. Rate, review, subscribe on all the platforms. Rate, review, subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher. Give us a review. It helps the algorithms. It helps get the show out to more people. If you're a friend of the show, be a friend. Help the show. Be a good buddy. We all want to be buddies, don't we? Let's all be buddies. And as always, if you want to hear more... Well, today was a very comic book heavy episode, just because it was free comic book day. That's pretty awesome. And we don't have Sam to admonish us for talking about comics here anymore. True. I realized that. I'm like, we literally started the Wednesday show just because we wanted to talk comic books, and we didn't want Sam to just be tuning out, which he always fucking did when we talked comic books on Monday nights when we had Sam here with us. But now Sam's not here to be like, It was comic book movies he was in, but we're talking comic books, and he was just like, boo, boring.
Yeah. That's true.
So today was a comic book heavy show, and I felt like it wasn't anything. I felt like we weren't taking any content away from Wednesday because we're just talking about comics. Yeah. In like the general sense.
Yeah, the general sense. There you go.
In general, we talked about the comic book industry as a whole. Funsies.
Sucks.
Fun. It's a rough business. You have to be a brave hard soul like this guy right here to withstand it. If you go to YouTube, I have been diligently working on updating the YouTube page. Search for Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast on YouTube, and you'll find all of our current episodes, and you'll find a lot of classic episodes. If you don't want to go through Facebook and look for them, because it's a pain in the ass to find them on Facebook, but you can go to our YouTube page. You can click on the Dre's Geek Philosophy playlist, and it'll have all of them in order. Even the 2 lost episodes that were lost to the podcast feed, they're available on our YouTube page.
There you go.
Episode 2 happened here. Because when Sam's little boy Jojo was born, we had to do the show from here. And then episode 3, which Sam lost. That was lost to time. Yeah. But they are available in full viewing form, in full video on the YouTube. I salvaged them from my personal, because I recorded those early episodes on my personal Facebook page. I salvaged them from there, put them up so people can see them.
There you go.
Eventually, I'm going to endeavor to have all the episodes on that YouTube page so we can get more than 3 subscribers. And then grow it from there and do all that fun stuff. Video game show, I spent this whole past weekend working Lucha Libre. I wouldn't even get to talk about it this week. Maybe I'll talk about it next week. I worked the whole Cinco de Mayo weekend at Lucha. Vavoom! I worked security.
Nice.
Well, it was a cool show, but I didn't get to watch any of the show. I was downstairs the entire time. You had to see a whole bunch of weird Aztec dancers. Well. It was a thing. Well, maybe we'll talk about it next week. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the nerd world between now and next Monday. Yeah. But you can watch us Wednesday night. If you want to hear comic book talk, we're right here back on Facebook Live for the Multiverse Comic Show at 8:30 Pacific Time on Wednesday night. We'll talk about all the brand new comics and any important comic book news that happens between now and then. Usually comic news goes from Wednesday to Wednesday.
Yeah. It was actually a convention this weekend. I forgot where.
There was a convention?
Yeah, I forgot where it was. And a lot of stuff came out of that, which was kind of cool.
Huh. Were like big companies were announcing things?
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Kind of, yeah. But yeah.
Well, they were announcing. If you want to hear about it, make sure to catch us on Facebook Live, 8:30 p.m. right here at Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast channel to watch the Multiverse Comic Show. But as far as Dre's Geek Philosophy goes, we are done for this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We shall see you right here, back here next week at 8 p.m. Pacific on Monday night. You guys have yourselves a great week. See you next time.
Good night.